Hello, and welcome to this quick tutorial workshop on the Paycheck Protection Program application process. The Paycheck Protection Program is currently open to small businesses and sole proprietors. It has been extended and available to apply until May 31st, 2021. So the Paycheck Protection Program is a federal grant program, but you're going to go to your local bank or financial institution to apply. Okay, so you will go to your bank, tell them you want to apply for a Paycheck Protection Program. If your bank is not partaking in the program, reach out to one of the local banks in Lincoln. Union Bank has been a great partner for us in this. Westgate Bank, Cornhusker Bank, all of your local Lincoln banks are partaking in the program. So pick up the phone, call your bank, and tell them you want to apply for a Paycheck Protection Program loan. And even though it's called a loan, it is money that you do not have to pay back. It is used for payroll and to pay yourself or business expenses. And then you can have it forgiven and don't have to pay it back while getting to utilize its use as a deduction. So it's a great program to take advantage of. So there are 4 applications to apply for. To prepare, here are the things you're going to need. Okay, so if you are a sole proprietor, okay, you are going to file what we call a Schedule C. In your tax return, you are going to see a Schedule C available. And that is how you know that you are what is referred to as a sole proprietor. Okay. You are going to need your 2019 and or your 2020 tax return and the Schedule C from it. Okay, so you're going to want this form from either 2019 or 2020 or both. If you can get both, you can compare the two and use whichever yields a higher number. Okay, if you are a small business and you file a 1065 as a partnership, or an 1120 as an S Corp. Perhaps you're a C Corp, although we don't usually work with too many of them. You're going to utilize your business income tax return. Okay. Again, you'll want to take 2019, 2020 if you have it, or both, to compare and get the better information. Now, in addition, as a small business, you are going to need your payroll records. And I'm sorry I highlighted that wrong. Your most recent business income tax return for a small business. You just need the 1 year. You will also need your payroll records. So if you are a small business and you have W-2 employees, okay, you're paying people wages, you need to get your 2019 and or 2020 payroll records. If you utilize a QuickBooks, a Paycheck, some kind of online payroll program, you can print a summary for 2019 and 2020. If you can get both years, you can compare the two and utilize whichever is higher number for you. From there, you're going to need your gross and wages as well as your employer taxes. Okay, so you're going to want to print out a report that gives you that information. Okay. So to clarify, you need your most recent business tax return, which is either going to be your 1065 or your 1120S. Okay, if you're a Schedule C, you're going to need your Schedule C from your 1040. And if you have W-2 employees, you are going to need your 2019 and or 2020 payroll records. Okay, including gross wages and employer taxes. All right, if you are going for a second PPP loan, you will additionally need your 2019 gross sales and your 2020 gross sales. Okay, so this is going to be top line revenue that you sold for each calendar year. Okay, what you need to do is to be able to get a 25% loss from 2019 to 2020. If the annual numbers do not yield you a 25% loss, you can compare quarter 1 to quarter 1 of 2019 and 2020. Quarter 2 to quarter 2, quarter 3 to quarter 3, quarter 4 to quarter 4. And if any of those yield a 25% or greater loss in gross sales, then you qualify for a second PPP loan. Okay, so any of those 5 calculations, the annual totals or any of the 4 quarters, if 2019 is less than if 2020 is less than 2019, but 25% or greater, you qualify for a second PPP loan. Okay, so if you're going to apply for the second PPP loan, you need your 2019 sales and your 2020 sales so we can prove that calculation. Okay? All right, so there are 4 applications available to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program as of March 2021. Okay, so almost we're going to go through them, break this down. This is a really simple program. The application process should take you 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, you can go to sba.gov. Along the top, there is this yellow bar you can click. It will take you to the COVID relief page, and you can find all of the information as well as available applications for the Paycheck Protection Program. Now, we're going to go through the paper programs here together, but when you call your bank, they're going to send you an electronic link, and you're going to do this all online in a short amount of time. Okay, but we're going to show you the paper version so you can prepare and know what it is that you need. All right, so there are 4 different applications to choose from. Okay, if you're going for the first PPP program loan, which means you haven't got one yet, then there are 2 different applications. There is the Paycheck Protection Program borrower application. What's important is that you get the revised March 18, 2021 version. Okay, on all of these, you want to make sure you get the latest version. Okay, so if you're going for the first time PPP, and you're a small business that files a 1065 or an 1120S, you are going to utilize the Paycheck Protection Program application revised March 18, 2021. Okay? If this is your first time getting a PPP and you have a Schedule C as your tax return for your business, then you are going to utilize Paycheck Protection Program borrower application for Schedule C filers. Okay? Again, available as of March 18, 2021. Okay, so again, that is for your Schedule C. You're going to utilize this one. If you're going for a second PPP, you've already got one and you're trying for an additional one, same thing. There are 2 applications. You have the revised second draw. Okay, second draw means you're getting it a second time. And there is now a second draw for the Schedule C filers. Okay, so if you have a Schedule C, going for the second one. If you have a Schedule C, going for the second one, and you're a 1065 or an 1120S filer, then you will utilize the second draw. Okay, so 4 applications. They have added as of March an opportunity for Schedule C filers for both the first and the second. Okay, so what we're going to go through to start with is all of these applications have a number of fields that are the same. Okay, so we're going to start with that. No matter what application you're applying for, these fields all are the same on all of the forms, and this information is primarily going to come from your tax returns. Okay, on the top of your tax returns, you're going to get most of what you need here. Right? So, to start, it's going to ask you how you are structured, what kind of business you are. If you're a partnership, you're using the 1065. Okay, that's for partnerships. You're going to mark partnership. We work with primarily sole proprietors. If you have an 1120S, even if you're a single S-Corp owner, you're going to select the S-Corp. Okay? If you are a sole proprietor independent contractor, utilize the new one. Okay? It's for your Schedule C filers. If you are filing the Schedule C, utilize that one. Nonprofits, click accordingly. Okay, as you can see, I've typed in here all of this main information. This information is on all of the applications, and it's going to come from find your most recent tax return. It's the best way to get to this. Legal business name. It needs to be how you legally file with the federal government, which is going to be available on your tax returns. Okay, the information that is on the top of any of these forms is what you want to put there. Okay, the business address that is on file with the IRS from your tax return. The year that you are in business, available right here on your tax returns. Okay, you can also go to the Secretary of State, look yourself up if you're an LLC and get your exact date as well. Your NAICS code is also available on your tax returns. You can otherwise go to naics.com and do a search on your business type. Look for the industry, find the category that fits you best, and it will give you the code. Okay? Your federal ID number or social security number is going to be on your tax return. Okay? This information here, that's on all of yours. Applicant, over here you need to check one. No more than 500 employees or 300 per application. Everybody we work with, all of our clients, everybody we're helping, this first option is going to apply to you. We have additional information and a link for unique situations. If you have a complex structure, larger organization, reach out to your accountant maybe for further guidance. But as a small business, as a sole proprietor, you're going to fall under this first option. Okay. Business phone, contact, and email. Right? The other part, all of that is on all of the applications, comes from your tax returns. The other part that is on all the applications is the applicant ownership. Okay? All owners that are 20% or more need to be listed. If you are 1120, you will have a K1 available that lists them all out. Same with your 1065. Find your K1s. It's going to tell you all of your owners and your percentage of ownership. If you're a sole prop, then it is you 100%, and that becomes pretty straightforward. Okay? So no matter what application you're utilizing, this information is all the same. Name, address, code, date established, EIN, your contact information, and the owner information. Okay? So now let's talk about how to calculate the loan amount. All right, so we're going to start with the new and the easy one. If you're a sole proprietor, if you're a Schedule C filer, okay, if you have a Schedule C for your business, this becomes pretty straightforward. You are going to go to line 7 of your tax return. Okay, this is for our Schedule C filers. Okay. And you are going to put your gross income from line 7 in this amount. The maximum amount is $100,000, which would come to $8,333 on a monthly basis. Okay. Calculation takes it times 2.5. Online, when you go online to file, the only number you're going to need is this. Okay, the number from your Schedule C, line 7. Okay, the computer will calculate the rest for you. If you happen to be a Schedule C with W-2 employees, okay, you're filing a Schedule C, but you also have wages, then you will utilize the second portion of this, where you will take line 7 minus the wages and benefits given to your employees. Okay. It will then take a calculation and also allow you to take for your wages of your employees. So this allows you to take yours minus benefits, which is the calculation up here, plus the amount of W-2 wages on an average basis. Okay, so for the most part, almost everyone we've worked with, Schedule C does not have W-2 employees for the most part. You're going to plug in your line 7 here. The system will calculate the rest for you when you apply online. Okay, at $100,000, you can get $20,833 free that you do not have to pay back. Okay, if you are Schedule C with W-2 employees, you will still need your Schedule C, but you will also need any benefits that you've paid out, pensions that you've paid out, or wages that you've paid out to further calculate. This is really unusual and unique in our experience to have these types of benefit programs in a sole prop. Okay, so if you're a Schedule C filer, just need your Schedule C, and that's the information to apply. It's all calculated online, and it's fairly simple. You're going to select for payroll costs. As a sole proprietor, that money's going to go to you. At least 60% goes to you. It can cover other things, but you need to click the payroll costs for sure. Okay? If you are a business, 1065 or an 1120S, okay, you have W-2 employees, you are going to apply using your payroll summaries. Okay, again, that QuickBooks, Paychecks, online, Gusto, whatever payroll system, however do your payroll. You're going to take all of 2019 or all of 2020, whichever is higher, of your gross wages, plus your employer taxes. Okay, you're going to add those two numbers together, and you're going to divide it by 12. If you're in this group, there is full videos written out on the board of in-depth calculations for how to do this if you need further clarification. But it's fairly simple. You're going to take your total gross salaries and employer taxes for the year and divide it by 12. If 2019 is higher than 2020, utilize whichever one's bigger. Okay, so if you have $100,000 total salaries and employer taxes divided by 12 is 8333.33. Okay, system's going to take that times 2.5. Again, it calculates it for you. You will enter the number of employees that you have today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many employees that you have, you'll simply enter the number. Again, just like the other one, you need to select payroll costs. 60% of this money needs to go to yourself for payroll through wages, okay, to pay employees and yourself. You can select others, but you need to select payroll costs for sure. Okay, so again, Schedule C, you're going to go to the tax return to get the couple of numbers that you need. Businesses, you are going to go to your payroll summaries to find your average monthly payroll, and it will calculate accordingly. Okay, now, a couple differences here. If you are going for your second loan, all of that applies, except you also have to have that 25% reduction that we spoke about. So it's going to ask you the 2019 and the 2020 either quarter or annual number that proves the 25% difference. Okay, so the total. It will calculate for you the percentage. If it's 25% or more of a loss, of a reduction, it will allow you to go on in the application. Okay? Otherwise, the calculation is the same, except if you are a restaurant going for a second PPP loan, it will calculate it at 3.5 rather than 2.5. So it gives you a little bit bigger loan. Okay? So, all loans, all applications, primary information is going to come from your tax returns. Schedule C, you need your Schedule C from your most recent tax return, 19 or 20, whichever's bigger. Otherwise, get your most recent one to use it, to get your numbers. Small businesses, payroll, summaries. All right? The rest of the application is straight across the board. There is an optional portion to fill out. Okay, pretty straightforward. And then a list of questions. And it's become pretty straightforward when you're doing them online. Kind of guides you through it, makes it really simple. But you have to answer these questions. If you answer yes to any of these, you won't be approved. Again, so prop small businesses, you guys qualify. Read through it. Make sure none of these things apply to you. But for the most part, if you're not incarcerated or have some extenuating circumstances or a complex structure, then these are going to be pretty straightforward for you. Okay, there is a second set that you're going to attest to. Okay, you're going to signature, put your initials on these, and sign off on your application. The whole thing should take 5 to 10 minutes max online, especially if you come with these key pieces. Find your tax returns 2019, 2020. Find your payroll records. And if you're going for a second one, you need your 2019 and 2020 sales. Okay, get those things in a PDF form, because when they send you the link, you can simply upload it, and it takes a matter of minutes, guys. The application turnaround time is a couple of days, 24, 48 hours. Oftentimes people are getting these loans. Stay tuned and we'll tell you all about how to get it forgiven. You have plenty of time though. Don't panic. Get your money. You have 24 weeks to use the money. And then you have 10 months to go apply for forgiveness. There's going to be a simple link that comes from your bank later that you will click and fill out the information, and then you don't have to pay the loan back. Okay? If you have questions, please see our website, www.bellsolutions.biz. Have all kinds of information, as well as in this group, there is a number of videos that walks through this process a little more in depth. Either way, the applications are open until May 31st, and there's really not too good of a reason to not go get one if you're a small business. It's hard not to qualify yourself. Okay? So, go get your PPP loans, guys. Thanks again, Echo Bell, Bell Solutions. Lincoln CFO on the go.